Welcome students. We continue with maxima and minima. Today we will study absolute or global maxima, minima, also maxima and minima in a closed interval. Let us understand the concept. So till now we have studied local maxima and minima. This is graph of a function. This is point of local maxima. This is point of local minima. Again another maxima and another minima, then again another maxima. So these are local maxima and these are local minimas. But this function, if we consider interval from this is x is equal to a to, let's say x is equal to b, x is equal to a to x is equal to b, this is absolute maximum value. The maximum of all the maximum values is absolute maximum values, is the absolute maximum value, and these are the two minimum values. This one is absolute minimum value. Now this absolute maxima or absolute minima is also called global maxima or global minima, or maxima and minima in some closed interval. Now how do we solve questions? This is the first one. We have to find absolute maxima and absolute minima of the function. This function g of x, which is half minus x whole square plus x cube, and this is in the interval from minus 2 to plus 2.5. So this is the given closed interval. The first step remains the same. We will find out derivative of the function and equate the derivative to 0. This is 2 into 1 by 2 minus x into minus 1 and plus 3x square. This is equal to 0. This is minus 1 plus 2x plus 3x square. This is 0. This is 3x square plus 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Plus 3x minus x minus 1 equal to 0. Taking 3x common, then minus sign common, we get 3x minus 1 into x plus 1 equal to 0. That's x is 1 by 3 or x is minus 1. X is 1 by 3 and x is minus 1. Both the values lie in this interval. So we keep both the critical points under consideration. Next we find out, no need to find out second order derivative here. Instead we find out value of function g of x at starting point of the interval. That's we find out g of minus 2, which is half minus 2 whole square. This is minus 2 whole cube minus 3 by 2 whole square, that is plus 9 by 4 minus 8. This is minus 23 by 4. So value of function at starting point is minus 23 by 4. We find out g of 2.5, which is 5 by 2. This is 1 by 2 minus 5 by 2. This is whole square plus 5 by 2 whole cube. This is 4 plus 125 by 8, and that is 157 by 8. This is value of function at the end point of the interval. Then we find out value of function at the two critical points. We have to ensure that the critical points lie in the interval. If one or more of critical points are outside the interval, we will reject these values. We find out g of 1 by 3, which will be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 whole square and plus 1 by 3, this is whole cube. This is 1 by 36 plus 1 by 27. So 108, this will be 3 plus 4, this is 7. And value of function g of minus 1, this will be 1 by 2 minus minus 1. 1 by 2 minus minus 1, this will be 3 by 2. So square of that will be 9 by 4. and then minus 1 whole cube, that will be minus 1. This is 5 by 4. Now we have 4 values. These are the values. This is value at start of the interval, this is value at the end of interval, this is value of at first critical point, value at second critical point. So maximum out of these is absolute maximum value, and that will be this value. So this is absolute maximum value, 157 upon 8, and this is absolute minimum value. Minimum of 4 is the absolute minimum value. Okay, second part. Now we are given f of x is 4x minus x square upon 2, and the interval is minus 2 to 4.5. So steps are the same. We find out first order derivative and equate to 0. This is starting point for any question. 4 minus 2x upon 2 is equal to 0. That's x is equal to 4. 4 belongs to the interval. So this is the only critical point. Now we find out value of function at the first critical point, that is at 4, and that is 4 into 4, 16, minus 4 square 16 by 2, that's 8. This is 8. Then value of function at starting point of the interval, that's 4 into minus 2, minus 8, and minus 4 upon 2, that is, this is minus 10. Value of function at second end, 4.5. So this will be 4 into 9 by 2 minus 9 by 2 whole square upon 2. This is 18 minus 1 by 8 into 81. This is 144 minus 81 upon 8, and that is 63 upon 8. Now we have 3 values. This is value of function at 4, this is 8. Value of function at starting point of interval, that is minus 10, and end point, this is 63 by 8. This is less than 8, this is 8. So this is absolute maximum value, and minus 10, this is absolute minimum value. So in this case there are 3 values. Maximum out of 3 is the absolute maximum value, minimum of 3 is the absolute minimum value. So this is the next one. We have to find maximum value of the function, first of all in interval 1 to 3, and then in the interval from minus 3 to minus 1. Derivative of function equal to 0. This will give us critical points. This gives us x is equal to plus minus 2. So when the interval is 1 to 3, x is equal to 2, this will be taken, x is equal to minus 2 will be rejected. We find out value of function at starting point of interval f of 1, that's 2 minus 24 plus 107, and that is 109 minus 24, and this is 85. Then we find out value of function at end point of the interval f of 3, that's 2 into 3 cube is 27 minus 72 plus 107. This is 54 plus 107, 161 minus 72. This will be 9, and this is 89. Then we find out value of function at the critical point, that is f of 2. This is 2 into 2 raised to 3. This is 16 minus 48 plus 107. This is minus 48, so that will be 85. This is 75. This is 75. So out of these values 75, 85 and 89, we have to find maximum value. So f of 3 is 89 and 89 is the maximum value. So for the same question, if the interval changes, now we have interval from -3 to -1. So x is equal to -2 lies here, x is equal to +2 will be rejected. We find out f of -3, we will find out f of -1 and f of -2. This is 27 into 2, 54, minus 54 plus 72 plus 107, and that is 125. Next, f of -1, this will be -2 plus 24 plus 107, this is 129, and f of -2, this will be -16 plus 48 and plus 107, that's 139. So here the absolute maximum value is at x is equal to -2 and the value is 139. Next one, we have to find the absolute maximum and minimum values of the function. Here the interval is 1 to 5, closed interval from 1 to 5. So students, by now you know the steps. The first step is that we find out derivative of function and equate to 0, that is for critical point or for points. We will accept the points, critical points lying in the interval from 1 to 5 and reject the points which lie outside this. So let's do that first. F dash of x is equal to 0, this is for critical points, plus this is 36 equal to 0, dividing by 6, and this gives you x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. 2 and 3 both lie in the interval, so we will consider both. We find out value of function at starting point of interval, that is f of 1. This is 24. We find out value of function at end point. This is 250 minus 375 plus this will be 180 and plus 1. That will be 431 minus 375. This is 31 plus 25. This is 56. So this is value of function at end point of the interval. Now we find out value of function at first critical point, that is at x is equal to 2. This will be 16 minus 60 plus 72 plus 1. This will be 29. And then value of function at the second critical point, that is 3. This will be 54 minus, this is 135 plus 108 and plus 1. This is 163 minus 135 and that will be 28. So now we have these values 24, 56, 29 and 28. So clearly 56 is the absolute maximum value, and the absolute minimum value is here at x is equal to 1. This is the absolute minimum value and this is 24. Coming to fourth question. This is f of x is equal to sine of x into 1 plus cos x, and the interval is given 0 to pi. So steps remains the same. We will find out first order derivative and equate the derivative to 0. So first order derivative, so I am writing f of x, this is sin x into 1 plus cos x, and f dash of x, this will be sin x into derivative of this minus sin x 1 plus cos x into derivative of sin x, which is cos x. this will be minus sine square of x plus cos x, and plus this is cos square of x. This is minus sine square of x is 1 minus cos square of x plus cos square of x and plus cos of x. This is 2 cos square of x plus cos x and minus 1. This is derivative of the function, and for critical point or for points we equate this to 0. This means plus 2 cos of x minus cos of x minus 1, this is 0. Taking 2 cos of x common, minus sign common, 2 cos of x minus 1, cos of x plus 1, this is 0. That's cos of x equal to 1 by 2, or cos of x is minus 1. Now we have to find corresponding values of x, and the interval is 0 to pi. This is cos of pi by 3, so x is equal to pi by 3. This is one critical point. Cos of x is minus 1, so this is graph of cos function, and this is when x is pi. Cos of x is minus 1 when x is pi. So this also lies in this interval. Now we have starting point, then we have critical point. This critical point and end point is the same. So that means we will find out 3 values. We find out f of 0, we find out f of pi, and f of pi by 3. Pi is a critical point, also the end point of the interval. F of 0. So since sine 0 is 0, this will be 0. Sine of pi is 0, this will be 0. Sine of pi by 3, root 3 by 2 into 1 plus, this is 1 by 2. So 3 root 3 by 4. This is f of pi by 3. Now we have 3 values, 0, 0 and 3 root 3 upon 4. So this is maximum value, and maximum value occurs at x is equal to pi by 3. This is what we wanted to prove. The next one, we have to find absolute maximum and absolute minimum values of the function f of x equal to cos square of x plus sin x, and interval is same, 0 to pi. So I will first of all find out derivative of the function and equate the derivative to 0. This is f of x cos square of x plus sin of x, f dash of x is equal to 0. This means 2 cos x into minus sin x plus sin x, this is 0. That sin x 1 minus 2 cos of x is equal to 0. So sin x is equal to 0, or this is 0, or cos of x is 1 by 2. This is when x is 0 or pi. Both these values are in the interval. In fact, these are endpoints of the interval. And cos of x is equal to 1 by 2. That's x is equal to pi by 3. This is critical point. Now we will find out value of function at the starting point, at the end point, and at the critical point pi by 3. Sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. Okay, sin pi is 0. This will be minus 1. Minus 1 whole square, that will be 1. F of pi by 3. This is 1 by 2 square plus, this is root 3 by 2. This is root 3 plus 1 by 4. Sorry, this will be root 3. This will be 2 root 3 and plus 1 by 4. This is f of pi by 3. So 1 is the absolute minimum value, and this value 2 root 3 plus 1 by 4, this is the absolute maximum value. In the next question, we have f of x is equal to sin x plus half cos of 2x, and here the interval is first quadrant, that is 0 to pi by 2. So I will differentiate the function and equate the derivative to 0. F of x is sine of x plus half, this is cos of 2x. F dash of x, this will be cos x half, this is minus 2 sine of 2x, and this is 0. We equate the first order derivative to 0 to find out critical point or points. That's cos of x minus sine 2x can be written 2 sine x into cos x. This is sine 2x is 2 sine x into cos x. This 2 will cancel out. Taking cos of x common, this is 0. This means cos of x is 0 or sine of x is 1 by 2. And in the first quadrant, cos of x is 0 when x is pi by 2. Sine of x is half when x is pi by 6. So this critical point coincides with the end value, and this lies in this interval. So we will find out value of function, this function at starting point of interval, that is at 0. We find out f of pi by 2 and we find out f of pi by 6. F of 0, sine 0 is 0, this will be cos 0, 1 into 1 by 2. Sine pi by 2, this is 1 plus 1 by 2 into cos of pi, that's minus 1. This also 1 by 2. F of pi by 6, this is 1 by 2 plus half cos of 60, that is 1 by 2. So half plus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. We have three values, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 and 3 by 4. This one is the absolute maximum value and 1 by 2 is the absolute minimum value. The next one, we have f of x as x plus sine of 2x and the interval is 0 to 2 pi. So for critical point or points, the first order derivative is equated to 0, that is f dash of x is 0. 1 plus this is 2, cos of 2x is 0, cos of 2x is minus 1 by 2, and this is cos of, so minus 1 by 2 will occur in negative value of cos function, this will occur in the second quadrant and in the third quadrant. So 0 to pi by 0 to 2 pi, these are values of x. We have 0 less than equal to x less than equal to 2 pi. So derivative is with 2x. So this will be 2x less than equal to 4 pi. So this can be written cos of, so we know this is minus and this is cos of pi by 3 and this is cos of pi minus pi by 3 is cos of 2 pi by 3. So first value we are getting, that is 2x is 2 pi by 3 or x is pi by 3. Next value, we solve this one, cos of 2x is minus of cos of pi by 3. This can be written cos of pi plus pi by 3. This is cos of 4 pi by 3. This gives us 2x equal to 4 pi by 3 and x is 2 pi by 3. So let's write down the critical points for f of x equal to x plus sine of 2x and the interval from 0 to 2 pi, we are getting x is pi by 3, we are getting x is 2 pi by 3. Value of function at starting point of the interval, which is x is equal to 0, we find out f of 0. We will find out value of function at 2 pi, second end of the interval. Then we find out f of pi by 3 and f of 2 pi by 3. F of 0, this is 0, this one is 2 pi plus 0, this is pi by 3 plus sine of 2 pi by 3, pi by 3 plus this is root 3 by 2, that's 6. This is 2 pi plus 3 root 3. F of 2 pi by 3, this is 2 pi by 3 plus sine of 4 pi by 3, that's 2 pi by 3, and this will be minus root 3 by 2, that's 6. This is 4 pi minus 3 root 3 and upon 6. So we have these values, and we can see we have to find maximum and minimum values of the function. The maximum out of these is this value, and what is value of 3 root 3? 2 pi is approximately 2 into 3.14, that is 6.28. What is 3 into root 3? This is 3 into 1.7, it's 5.1. So this will be 2 into pi, this will be 6.28 plus 5.1 upon 2. So this will be less than this value. So this is absolute maximum value. And let's see if this value is, what is this value? This is 4 into pi, that's 12.56. 3 root 3 is 5.1 upon 6. So this is 7.5 roughly upon 6. This is 1.25. So this is absolute minimum value. 0 is the absolute minimum value.